Hi, welcome to Books with Lexi. In this video, I'm going to be reading summer horror books. This is a little more of a casual video than what I usually do. There is this theme, but I haven't gone in picking all of my books. Some of them I have, but I don't have a set TBR. Also, I would like to point out that yes, this is a summer horror video, and I am wearing a long sleeve crew neck, but in the summer, the air conditioning is turned on so that I'm cold in my house. So it's the only logical choice. I have two books for sure that I'm going to be reading in this video, and they are Mina and the Undead by Amy McCaw. Amy very kindly sent me a copy of this, and I'm excited to get to it finally. Amy is also a booktuber, so she'll be linked in the description. Another one I for sure am going to be reading, and I only know this because I've started it, is Tastes Like Candy by Ivy Tholen. This is YA horror set in New Orleans and has to do with vampires. This is adult, but we are following almost seniors in high school as they are about to start their final year of school. So it does take place in September, I believe, but still summertime. And it ends up happening at a carnival or amusement park, but it's at night, so like it's closed. Those are the two I'm for sure reading. Another one that I would like to get to is Paradise Club by Tim Meyer. This is set on a beach, maybe at a resort. Very much looking forward to this. I am going to try to read Under the Blade by Matt Serafini. That is a camp, like summer camp slasher. So I think those are my four top priorities. I want to try to fit in a fifth. Maybe something will come up that I'm more interested in than these, but I am very much looking forward to reading them. I said I'm reading Tastes Like Candy already, so this will be the first one I talk to you about. So I'll see you once I'm a third in. Related to this book, but unrelated to this book, I was so confused earlier because I was trying to figure out what the main character's name was, and I looked at the back, and the back where the synopsis is says candy is dandy but the liquor is quicker, which like that's disturbing in by itself. And then I was like, this makes no sense. Like, am I forgetting everything? The synopsis on the back is actually from Ivy Tholen's previous book, because I texted Kelsey and I was like what is happening? And she said that she has a copy she bought herself, like the first edition, and the synopsis is correct, and then the author sent her a copy, and it's like this. So I guess it's just like a printing issue, but I was like seriously so confused. Anyway, I'm very excited to have a copy of this. Michelle sent me this for my birthday, which is so nice. But like, this cover is so fun. I really like it. It is pretty short. I like this little thing. And then at the beginning of every chapter, there is a little Ferris wheel. And I am now 90 pages in. I just got to chapter 9. And so far, the slashing stuff has not happened. And I know that that's a big complaint of this book. Like, I'm a little over a third in, I would say. Maybe like almost 40%, and the slashing has not happened, but it is a lot of like stuff that's making you care about the characters. So I'm not obsessed with it right now, but it's still reading like it could be 4 stars. So this is taking place at the very, very end of the summer. School is about to start, and we are following a group of friends who are about to be seniors. So our main character's like main thing is that she's still waiting to get into college. She wants to go to music school, and she is the only one really that hasn't heard about her acceptance yet. So that's a big thing for her. And then there's also this tradition where I guess the people that were part of this scavenger hunt last year invite specific like rising seniors to be part of this scavenger hunt, and they all get like a letter in the mail with a clue, and they have to like get something. I don't really know the point of it, but it happens. So we are following, I don't even know how many characters. Violet is our main character, and then her best friend James, and then this like famous YouTuber, and then like the good girl, and then the athlete, and some other people. So there's like at least 6 or 7 characters. So we are mainly following Violet, but we are learning about other characters. Our main character is a musician, so we're getting some backstory on that. Bucky's is in here, if anybody would like to know that information. So where I ended is the very beginning of the scavenger hunt that takes place at this carnival. So they had to break in. It is fun because we do get some texts every once in a while. I am enjoying it. I'm liking the characters, but I'm not obsessed with it because so far it's just been learning about these high schoolers and their backstory. I found this because of the cover. I found it on KU, and this is one of Kelsey from Simon Slasher's favorite, I don't know, favorite books, favorite slasher books, for sure favorite slasher book, but I know she absolutely loves this. I know Kaylee just read it because of Kelsey, and I'm pretty sure she gave it 5 stars. So far it's feeling like 4 stars, but like there's still a chance it could be 5 stars. So a good recommendation from Kelsey so far. But I know with Kelsey, if you don't give it 5 stars, that means that you hated it. So I guess no pressure to me. So I will do another check-in around 2/3, but I've heard this has some very fun and like unique kill scenes in here. And it is a slasher, so obviously a lot of these characters are going to die. So I have high hopes for this one. Hopefully my expectations are not too high, but I'm still enjoying it even though none of the slashing has happened yet. So I'm assuming it will just get better, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes. So a thing just happened. I have some thoughts. How do I say this without sounding like I'm not okay? Some of the kills in here are so good. They're so fun and so messed up, and like, I am having a great time with this. I am 70% in. I just got to a point where like it happened and I was laying in bed reading, and I was like, I have to stop so I can vlog again. But it was so hard to stop. Like, I'm having such a good time with this. So the first third was a lot of setup, and I was not bored by it. I wasn't annoyed by any of the characters. So I didn't have any real opinions either way about it. And then from 35% or wherever I stopped till now, it's just been like non-stop like things happening, and I'm having such a good time with it. There are some things that happen and it's messed up, but like why this is so fun. It's so good. I cannot wait to keep reading. There was a thing that happened and I was like, interesting. So like I have theories, but I feel like that's too obvious. So I cannot wait to see how this ends, and like there are still characters left, so I'm interested to see what happens with them. I don't have anything else really to say because it's just been the slashing stuff, but we're in a carnival setting, amusement park, carnival, I can never remember, but like it's really good. And depending on how the rest of this goes, this could end up being my first 5-star book in 2 months. I have not had a 5-star book since mid-April, other than Alice in Borderland. I know I'm talking about this again, but like manga feels different as a 5-star than like a traditional novel. So yeah, I'm gonna go so I can finish this. I'm so excited. I feel like I've said the word excited a bunch of times in this vlog clip, but I'll talk to you when I'm done. Every once in a while I start filming and I just like have the urge to say the weirdest thing. Like I wanted to say, hey party people, when I've never said that in my life. Anyway, I have finished Tastes Like Candy, and this is my first 5-star book in 2 months. Actually, it's over 2 months at this point. My last 5-star book was in the middle of April. And this video is going out a little later than when I am reading this, just because a lot of these are physical reads and that takes me longer. But this was so good. This was just so fun and messed up, and I just really had a great time with it. I think the ending was a little predictable in certain aspects, but then certain things were done and I was like, oh. So yeah, overall I had a really great time with this. I would recommend it. It does take a while to get into it, and they are high school students. It's not a YA book, but all of the characters are about to start their senior year of high school. So I know that that has bothered some people. The slow setup didn't bother me because then I was more invested in what was happening. I tried to read, what's that book called? Camp Slaughter recently, and like I literally didn't care about any of the characters at all, and like it just wasn't super interesting to me because of that. So I think that I do need a little more backstory, and I think that this did that really well. So yes, 5 stars. This is not like an all-time favorite book of mine, but I had such a good time reading it, and like I'm so happy that I finally have a 5-star book again. So those are my final thoughts on Tastes Like Candy. 5 stars, would recommend. The next book I'm going to be reading is Under the Blade by Matthew Serafini. Bowser left. Hey over there. Hi kitty. Okay, now bye. Can you tell that I am covered in cat hair? Okay, I guess it's mostly only bad on my sleeve. Anyway, I have started Under the Blade. I'm reading it on my Kindle. Here's a look at my Kindle stickers if you're interested. This is from Project Hail Mary. This is the Halloween Ghosty. Pyramid Book Club. Katrina sent me this, and Michelle sent me both of these. Actually, she sent me this one as well. That's a Kindle sticker tour for you. I am 31% into cat hair. Under the Blade. I just got to chapter 5, which is on page 115. So they are long chapters. No, I don't want to make a bookmark. I'm gonna read the synopsis to you. Really? I feel like there's cat hair like stuck to me. Also, I got this recommendation from Kelsey, another one. No pressure. Some campfire stories are real. It's been 25 years since Cyrus Hoyt. Would you pronounce Hoyt Hoyt or Hot? Let me know. Infamous killing spree at Camp Forest Grove. A quarter century since teenage counselor Melanie Holden left him mortally wounded and escaped with her life. Today, Melanie's teaching career has bottomed out and left her with no choice but to return to the scene of the crime. Motivated by a lucrative publishing offer as well as a desire to free herself from recurring nightmares, Melanie's research into the murderer's life brings resistance from all directions as she uncovers skeletons in Forest Grove's past. Because of Melanie, a long-held secret is about to be revealed, one that somebody is willing to kill for in order to protect. Melanie is going to discover she has a lot more to lose than just her mind. It says it is Friday the 13th meets Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. 31% in, I'm really enjoying it. The main character is Melanie. She's an adult now. The book starts off with the slashing stuff in the past, and then we jump to her current day. She's a professor at a college, and she gets like ripped off kind of and is not happy with it. So that's what kind of leads her to go back to her past because of this book deal. So we're getting Melanie's perspective. We are also getting the perspective of a local, I think he's the police chief, and he is there to kind of babysit her almost. The town responded to these murders by a footloose situation where they are now like there's a curfew, they can't listen to like loud music, they can't like have large group gatherings, like they can't have school dances and stuff like that because that apparently prevents. Anyway, so they are very set in their ways. Like this new guy started running the town store and was selling alcohol on Sundays, and like that was a big deal. How did I get here? I don't know. This is relevant, but I don't know how I got to this part of the book. Anyway, so, the town does not like her because they feel like she is coming back to disrupt things. And and like cause issues for their town. So we're following Melanie because she's going back to like jog her memories to write her memoir. Then we're following, I think his name is Brady. He's the chief police guy. And then we are also following his wife. I don't remember what her name is, but we're getting her perspective. Those are generally the points of view we're getting. There was like a one-time random thing, but like it was necessary. And I'm really enjoying this. There are hints at some other things going on. There was a situation in the past that is what like was kind of alluded to in the synopsis. And it's very interesting, and it's something that I generally like. So I think that will be an interesting thing to integrate into the story, but I'm not sure how they are going to be related. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I think it's done well. This is from 2014, I think, so every once in a while there are some comments that I'm like, but also generally that's a thing that like men do in horror books, which doesn't mean that I like it, but like it's standard. So far, very good thoughts. I think this could get 5 stars depending on how everything ends up weaving together. I was really enjoying it, and then the addition of this other stuff, like I'm very intrigued. I like how it just like flung around my Kindle the whole time. So I'm having a good time with this, and I cannot wait to continue. So far, so good. From another Kelsey Rick. I'm gonna be honest with you, I finished Under the Blade so long ago. I had to speed read it. I didn't vlog because I like really was on a time crunch to get it done for something else. And I don't remember a whole lot. I thought about trying to give you more in-depth thoughts, but I just can't. So here's my final update for it. I am giving it 4 stars. I like the direction it went in. It was a weird one. It's not what I was expecting for a slasher, but I thought it was super interesting. Honestly, I can't remember why I gave it 4 stars instead of like the full 5-star, but I had a really good time with it. It's weird. It is a mix of a slasher and like a cult story, which I really like cult stories, and I would recommend this. It is on KU as of right now. So if you're interested in that, I would recommend it. I have since moved on, and I'm 50% into Mina and the Undead by Amy McCaw. Amy actually very kindly sent me a copy of this. She is a booktuber, so I will have her and her channel linked for you. But this is YA horror, which I was a tiny bit scared of because, I mean, I don't read a lot of YA horror, but my issues with YA I didn't think would be an issue in this one. So I decided I wanted to give it a go. I'm pretty much exactly 50% in, and we are following Mina, who arrives to New Orleans to visit her estranged sister Libby. She loves nothing more than a creepy horror movie and can't wait to explore the city's darkest secrets, vampire tours, seedy bars, spooky cemeteries, disturbing local myths. Mina lands a part-time job at a horror movie mansion and meets Jared, Libby's gorgeous housemate and fellow horror enthusiast. But the perfect summer bliss is broken when she stumbles upon the body of a girl with puncture marks on her neck, clutching a lock of hair that suspiciously resembles Libby's. Someone is replicating New Orleans' most brutal supernatural killings. Mina must discover the truth and prove her sister's innocence before she becomes the victim of another myth. So, I think this is a lot of fun. I really like the parts at the beginning where they're working in the horror movie mansion tour. I think that the like inspirations for these killings, like the myths of New Orleans, have been very interesting to learn about. I like Mina as a character, and I like all of the characters in general. I will say it's a little too like romance focused for my personal taste, but like I don't think it's done bad at all. There's also some journal entries in here which are fun. So overall I'm really having a good time. Right now it's feeling like it's going to be 4 stars for me, which is really great for me for YA books. So I think I'll probably just talk to you again whenever I'm done. I was going to talk to you when I was a third in, but honestly I just have not been feeling like vlogging, so that's why it's halfway. And now I feel like it just makes sense to talk to you again at the end. So I'm going to read more. It is taking me a while to read books for this video in general because I have been having a lot of troubles focusing. So reading physically just takes me longer, but I am really enjoying this. I was thinking for a while that this was going to be my last book of this video, but I might read one more because Kaylee just read The Honeys and like loved it, and that's another YA horror, and once again don't really love YA in general, but she really sold it. So I got the audiobook and I will probably be reading that for this as well. But I'm going to finish this before I get into that, so I'm going to go do that. I have finished Mina, and it took me 10 full days to read this, which for me is completely nuts. It's 300 pages and it's a YA book. It's not a difficult read, but my brain just is really struggling to get books read that I don't have an audiobook for. For context, I have been filming this video since I think the beginning of June. Like, it's taken me 2 months to do this one video, which is somewhat typical for me, but I feel like I've been reading the books the whole time. So the fact that it took me so long to read this has nothing to do with the book. I am giving this 4 stars. I really liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought there were a lot of really interesting aspects to it. My complaint is just the characters felt young, and that is not a fault of the book. It is like my personal preference. It was just like certain things that were happening that I was like, why? But it wasn't like it bothered me because it didn't make sense for the age. It's just like my personal reading taste. And since I rate on enjoyment, 4 stars feels right. But I would 100% recommend this. This wraps up in a way that I personally don't feel like I need to continue with this series, just for who I am as a reader. But I'm not against continuing. I liked the characters and I'm interested enough to continue. It's just like me with series is pretty much I don't. That's it. So yeah, I really liked this. I would recommend it. I thought it was a fun time. Once I would sit down and read and like not let myself get distracted, it was a very quick read, even though it took me a full 10 days to read it. And I like the setting of this one, both the summer setting and the New Orleans setting. So the next and final book I'm going to be reading is The Honeys by Ryan LaSala, I believe. I actually have started it, but I didn't want to mix things up and confuse you. So go back to past me where I got to a third in The Honeys, and then you will see me again like this talking about 2/3 in because that's where I am now. But let's get into that. I am a third into The Honeys. I think I'm 31% in, and I am really enjoying this so far. I have to say the audiobook is top tier and is like actually causing me stress. It's not just that it's like sound effects, it's the way the sound effects are done. Like I literally just got a chill thinking about things that have happened in this book. And this is YA horror, so like, oh, what? So at the very beginning, we watch a struggle between two siblings. I believe they're twins, and the one ends up dying. At her funeral, these 3 girls from this like rich summer camp that she went to is there, and they invite our main character Mars to go. So they decide to do that. It's just like, ugh, like I keep thinking about this book and getting chills. And what? Like, Why is that happening to me? It's so good. It's really interesting because the main character is really interesting. The dynamic between Mars and I cannot remember what her name was is interesting. The family dynamics are interesting because the mother is a senator. Something has happened with Mars at the summer camp in the past. They used to go there and now they don't. Mars is gender fluid. So there's discussions of that, and it's just so good. There hasn't been like a lot of extreme like horror things going on. Not extreme horror, but a lot of like in your face type of horror things going on. We are just at the point where things are starting to like seem like they're weird, and they are weird, and I really cannot wait to see how this continues to go. I think I said it earlier, but I am reading this because Kaylee read it. Her video for that just came out, so I'll have that linked in the description. So like I don't know why I'm reading this book on her recommendation so quickly, and when I don't ever do that, but it fits with the video, so here we are. I'm really, really loving this so far. I probably won't read any more tonight. I'm 2/3 into the honeys and I'm still really, really enjoying it. I feel like the creep factor has gone down slightly, but like not enough for it to impact my enjoyment. I honestly don't have much to say at this moment. I'm really liking the characters. I'm liking the weird direction it's going in. There's like a thing that like you don't really know where it's going, but like it seems weird. And then we are watching Mars interacting with other people at this camp, and then like the things that are happening, the way people treat him. So that's pretty much it. I'm still feeling like it could be 4 to 5 stars, which I'm very happy about. I'm going to be finishing it today, which is really exciting. Once again, the audiobook is spectacular and I really can't wait to finish it. So I have to go film a book haul and then I'm gonna finish the book and I will talk to you. I finished The Honeys and wow, what a weird one. I think I am gonna give it 5 stars. For me, this wasn't a perfect book and I honestly can't explain why, but I had such a good time with this. It creeped me out. It was weird. It was disturbing. There were just so many things that like surprised me, which like I feel like only happens in weird books, and it is for sure one of those. I really liked the discussions in here. I really liked the main character. This is a YA book that it doesn't bother me at all that it's YA because I feel like the issues that the characters are going through feel important and not just like dumb stuff. And like that is not to say that what high schoolers generally go through are dumb, but like there's no reason that a lot of bullying needs to happen. I understand that it does and it's sad. I don't know. It just like this didn't feel as superficial and like silly, if that makes sense. So I really liked it. I'm just thinking about some of the things that happen in here, and it's such a weird time. The audiobook is absolutely incredible. This is one that I would be interested to reread to see if like you can pick up on certain things. Yeah, overall really good time. 5 stars from me. So we are bookending this video with 2 5 stars and then 2 4 stars in the middle, which like I don't know. Kind of weird. I started this video 2 months ago, and at that time, I had not had a 5-star book in 2 months. In the process of filming this video, I have finally gotten out of my funk, I guess. I didn't feel like I was in a slump, I just wasn't reading books that I was enjoying. And between this video and a lot of other things I've read, I'm finally loving things I'm reading again, which is ideal. So yeah, I would recommend everything in this book. Tastes Like Candy was 5 stars. Under the Blade was 4 stars. Mina and the Undead was 4 stars. And then The Honeys, 5 stars. I think the one that felt the most like a summer book to me was The Honeys because the whole time it was set at this summer camp. There were outdoor activities and all of that. Under the Blade felt very summery because of the camp setting. And while it wasn't at a summer camp for most of it because it was like our main character was an adult dealing with things in the past. There were a lot of like summer feelings. Tastes Like Candy is set in September, so it's not super summery, but like amusement parks, carnivals feel very summery to me. And everything happened outside. And then Mina, a lot of things happened outside. There were festivals. I just feel like the season maybe didn't impact my enjoyment for some of these as much as they did for others. But yeah, if you have any summer horror recommendations, please let me know. I am somebody that doesn't really tend to read seasonally. I am open to suggestions and I will read them at any time. If you have read any of these books and enjoyed them, I would love to know your thoughts. Coming soon will be a thriller version of this, so be on the lookout for that. If you are looking to find me in other places on the internet, everything is linked in the description, including my Bookstagram, my Storygraph, and my Patreon. Also, thank you to Kaylee and Kelsey for recommending books, for liking books, I guess. These books weren't specifically recommended to me. I'm just saying that their recommendations, even, I don't know. They like the books. I read the books. And thank you to Amy for sending me a copy of Mina. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!